Hello, 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 and welcome to the dungeon. Today we are at volume 10 of the black and white beads, and we're going to do a little bit more of those curious shapes that I've been thinking about. And I'm not sure where we're going to begin, and I'm not sure where we're going to end, but it should be exciting nevertheless. So join me as I make this curious shape, and we will talk about it later. Okay, so curious shapes, here we go. When I was making this bead, I really didn't know what was going on. I knew I wanted to make it similar to the bead I had previously made on the previous episode, because that one I thought was a very curious shape. But I wanted it to match, but to be completely different, I guess, is what you would say. I don't like to make the same thing over and over again. But then at the same time, I kind of do. There's something weird about that. Anyway, so we're going to get a whole bunch of white on this glass, and then I just kind of roll it out. You notice that the one end is a little cooler than the other end, and that really helps me to maintain a nice round shape. And I'll use both my marvering tables, the top one and the bottom one. The top one I use kind of for more finishing, and the bottom one I'll use when the glass is really hot, especially when I'm doing the edges. You gotta be real careful on those edges. So yeah, I didn't know what was going on. Like when I'm making something like this, I'm going, what am I doing? What am I doing next? I don't know. So I just decided we'll just add like a big, I don't know, bulbous kind of area to one end and kind of throw it off center maybe. And I like to do that in a way that, you know how I'm adding the glass right now, so it's kind of mimicking the shape I'm going for. So I'm adding a whole bunch of glass there, and then I'll get that whole wad at the bottom hot and flatten it out, and it just gives you cool shapes. You can add glass anywhere you want, flatten it out, and it can give you a nice shape. And then we'll press it down. I love this. Pressing that glass down is so cool. And then if we want to, I don't know if I think I kind of did both. We can throw it off center a little bit just by heating and twisting quickly. So I'm going to do it, I think right here. Yeah, there we go. That little twist. I just think that's so cool. But you got to be careful, because if it's too hot and you twist, that glass is going to come flying off. Believe me. All right, so we'll add a little neck piece here, which is always cool. Kind of looks like a bird. This could be a bird. You could be like, oh, I want to make a bird and go from this shape, make some funky bird. I do like making birds. I do. I make quite a few of those. But this is not going to be a bird. This is something foreign. I don't know what this is, but I like the way it's looking. So when I feel like I have placed my little pattern the way I want it, I always like to use a butter knife. Butter knife is great. Love to use that butter knife. Just getting that glass hot and mashing it down is a great feeling. But you want to make sure that you don't overdo it, because you can get the glass dirty that way. So let's add just a little bit of black here, and a little bit of black up there, and a little bit more here, and a little bit more there, and all of a sudden I was like, okay, let's continue on with this with that and see what happens. So I'm like, as I'm adding this secondary layer, I'm thinking about those two black dots, like what's that gonna be? Sometimes I think that these are like, it's almost like a dream, because you don't know where the glass is taking you. And as you work on the glass, you know, I'll work on the glass and then I'll stop periodically and do something else while I'm thinking about, like, oh, what do I do next? Which is exactly this. So I start building kind of a really long, I guess you would say maybe a handle, but just an extra, you know, cavity. Yeah, I'm creating a space here of black and white. And it's fun to do this kind of stuff when you can control the glass, because really all I'm doing here is I'm just maintaining the heat in the whole bead. It's really easy to make this kind of stuff. You just have to maintain the heat in the glass. And as I'm maintaining the heat in the glass, my eyes are pretty much focused on, like, what's the last thing I did doing, which, because the last thing I did is the hottest. So that's what I'm always focusing on. And then we're about to, I think, push these together. In goes the butter knife. That was the handle of the butter knife, by the way. The handle, if you have a nice smooth handle on your butter knife, it makes a great tool, great tool. And I can't remember if we breached the gap with black or white. And then I was like, ooh, we need something here at the front, because the front is feeling, you know, a little left out. So I decided we would put something there. Oh, okay. So what I end up doing here is fusing those areas together just with little tiny bits of the white. Because in the long run, it doesn't matter if, you know, it doesn't have to be, you know, obviously it's not a perfect shape. So I'm just playing. And I just pressed that down with my butter knife. I was like, oh, let's make a handle. But then I don't really want the handle to touch, because it might be a tail. I don't know. Sometimes I think of these pieces as like, they're like little aliens or little creatures from other universes that are like wanting me to find them and bring them out and show them to you. And just a couple more dots and I think we're almost done. I really liked putting that the clear on the front, and then I poked a little hole in each one just for an indentation, not for anything to trap bubbles or anything, but just to have there. And then I felt like this, you know, I always feel like certain areas feel neglected. So I have to make sure that all the areas that feel that way have something there. Like this little ending part. Or this little ending part. I just think this guy came out so cute. You know, it reminds me of some kind of a predatory, maybe alien skunk, I guess you could say. I'm not real sure. But it looks pretty cool. The ones that don't look real cool, I don't like to necessarily show unless there's an important reason to show it, you know. Like, I really messed up the marble right on the marble one, and I thought I needed to show it because I wanted to show people how you deal with a marble that's out of control. So then all of a sudden, I needed to add a little bit more to the top of the other side, and it's just a little bit hanging off. I'm not sure what that is, but I put it there. So for my final piece of the glass, I just make I do actually trap a bubble in that little focal area there with clear. There we have it. The curious shape of the day. All right, how's it going? It's a little bit later, and let's check out our what we made. This looks really cool. Very interesting, real different. I like that focal point right there. Let's give it a clean up and check it out. Ooh, that came off really nice. Okay, so we're going to clean this bead out, as always, with my diamond drill bit. and water and lots of love and care. Be careful when you have things hanging off your bead.